What is up, Hammerheads? Welcome back to the Forge. Today, we're making a back scratcher. Stay tuned. First thing we got to do, guys, is upset this material a little bit. Remember, when you upset the material, you're making a mass towards the end. Alright guys, I'm just knocking the corners down where we've drawn this out a little bit for the back scratcher. Now you can do bigger metal. I'm just making a smaller one. But there's all different sizes of back scratchers out there. Just flattening everything out, pulling it out, because we still have a decent amount of metal there to work with. You don't want it super thin or it'll cut you, but you do want it to spread out real well. Okay guys, so we flatten this out. I'm gonna finish shaping it because I don't like that shape there. And then we're gonna finish drawing out our material to make it just a little bit longer and a little bit thinner material. Guys, we're just going to draw this out some more. Getting ready to make our handle. Now you can make your handle any way you want to. I'm actually going to take a second, guys, and clean up this end because I don't want that to create a cold shut. So I'm going to take it over and rasp it real fast, and then we will get back into forging out our handle because I'm trying to decide if I want to make a loop in it or just make a regular handle. All right, guys, so I am just doing a flat handle. Rounding up the back half a little bit. Now, I'm gonna make the handle probably about 3.5 inches, 3 to 3.5 inches long, so you can get a good grip on it. Now we're gonna draw this out to about maybe 2 to 3 inches longer and thin this material out. Then I'm gonna put a backwards twist in here, and I don't know if I've showed a backwards twist yet. So that'll be a really interesting project if you haven't ever done that, and it makes a project look really good. You do a twist, then you reheat the other half, cool off the side that you don't want to move where your first twist is, then you twist the opposite direction, and it makes a really neat looking pattern. So we're going to go with that after we draw this out. See how we got a bend in that, guys? The high side goes up, you tap it down. That's our handle. Here's the first twist. Now when we come out from the fire, we're going to twist right down here, and it's going to go the opposite direction. So we're going to need to cool this down. You won't see me cooling everything down, but I'm going to cool down from here all the way back to the handle. Alright guys, so I got to straighten this up because it's a little wonky. See, it's offset a little bit. So I'm gonna heat up this end because I want a little bit more twist in this area, and I'm gonna see if I can fix that. But as you can see, it goes into a neat pattern right through there. Got to move you. So check out our twist. Now you can see there's a bend in this. You're not going to want to hit your twist with your hammer. You're going to want to hit it with some kind of piece of wood, a wooden mallet, or the back of your brush to straighten it. You do not want, whenever you hit with a hammer, it will mess up everything you just worked on. And just tap it. You don't have to kill it when you hit it. If it gets too cold, then heat it back up and then tap it again. Alright guys, I filed up the edge just to take the point off a little bit. Now I'm just kind of cleaning it up. Now I'm going to bend this about halfway to little over halfway. I don't know the exact measurement, y'all, just a little over halfway. Okay guys, we're going to do a little bit different finish on the back scratcher. Okay, we're not going to quench it in oil. We're not going to quench it in water or anything. I'm actually going to do a wax finish on it. Now, with the wax finish, if your metal is too hot, like this, you're not doing anything. It won't stay on. It is just going to melt right off, as you can see. So I've got to cool this down a little bit. I don't want it so hot that it catches on fire. So you might have to do this a couple times to get the finish. You want it to be like it's a little bit wet, but you do not want it to be where it's just dripping all over the place. Okay? That right there is right about perfect. It could be a little bit cooler. We'll let it drip down through here. I'm going to change up tongs. Now, when you're using beeswax, and this is what I was told by some other blacksmiths, don't breathe the smoke. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's... they just told me that to tell me that, but I've always been kind of the believer. Don't breathe the smoke because it can set the wax up in your lungs. I don't know how true that is because people use beeswax candles all the time in their house. But I've always been the person that I believed them and what they said. Now, let it cool down and then we'll come back and talk, guys. Do not set it on your anvil or you'll get wax on your anvil. So, I'll be back. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm going to use this for a second. That feels so good. I was going to sell it, now I think I might keep it. All right, guys, let's get real for a minute and talk about what we learned today. Well, we made a back scratcher. When you make your back scratcher, make sure you do not have any sharp edges on it because you don't want to cut somebody. You want the scratching back process to feel amazing, not like someone's taking a pair of nails or claws and raking it down your back. Generally, I don't make them extremely long. Maybe sometimes a little bit longer just for different size people, different lengths of arms, things like that. But you don't want to go over... Let's see how long this one is all the way around. This one's right about 13 and a half inches. You don't want to go over 16, 18 inches on this. You don't want it to be, you know, super long, 2 foot, whatever. You just want something where people can kind of grab it, reach around, scratch their back, and it worked really well and feel good in the process. When you're doing your double twist, or your backwards twist, I'm sorry, as you can see, there's a transition point. If you don't have enough twist up top, heat up your material, and you have, I'm sorry, if you don't have enough twist up top and you have a really big transition area, heat up your material, cool down everything up to this point. Cool down everything back on this side and just leave the center mass hot. If you have a torch, heat up that section with the torch and then twist it whichever direction you want to, and it'll clean that up. When you're doing, again, when you're applying your wax finish, make sure your material's not have any color to it. You want a black heat, which is about 800 degrees or so. But if you apply your wax and you see it just melting off and it's not sticking and catching on fire like I showed in the video, cool it down real quick. Don't hold it in the water. Just do a quick quench and then test it again. You want it to be able to adhere to your material. You do not want it to just burn off and then it doesn't look right, or if it's spotty. You can also use a torch for that. I have in the past heated up certain areas that were a little cooler and then applied the wax finish. If I need to cool it down, I'll cool it down. But you want it to look uniform all the way across, which gives it this black tint. Now, you can take a wire wheel to this and clean up some of your forge scale, and it makes it look really nice and puts a little bit more of a shine to it. And I do that a lot of times, but I just didn't today because I like the way this one looks. I like the forged look. So, I will possibly drill a hole in this and put a lanyard on it. I don't know yet how I want to do that. I don't know if I'm going to drill or if I'm just going to leave it as is. All right, guys, so let's talk about fairs and festivals. So this is a good project to do and to take with you at a fair or festival. If you're set up doing a demo, you can knock one of these out in about 30 minutes if you need to, if somebody's wanting something specific. So if they're wanting a handle made different, just grab one that you have that has a flat handle and do the different handle if you can. If they're wanting a longer one or something, then you can knock one of these out fairly quick. You can charge a custom price for it if you want to. I normally keep them the same price, even if somebody wants a custom one, because I know I can sell it. But it's also something you can draw out throughout the day. You can work on the blade. You can draw out the material. Use a railroad spike. Those make really good ones. But you can draw out your material. Take your time putting your twists in. People love seeing these twists be done during demos. You can say, all right, guys, I'm gonna do what's called a backwards twist. And they're like, what is that? Go check this out. And this transition point right here throws people off. They don't know how it does it. And people will buy these, even if you've already got them on the table, or they'll buy your demo piece because they think that is really cool. And they're gonna be, look, check out this backwards twist. And no one can figure it out. I generally sell these starting somewhere between 15 bucks, and I don't really go over 30 bucks with them, and it has to be very elaborate to make it to $30. Generally, they stay in the $15 to $20 range. All right, guys, so that's the project. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one. God bless, and keep hammering.